Hello everyone, this is another Values on the Road with Matt and Robin. Today we're in Francois Peron National Park, which is just absolutely stunning, and it's a four-wheel drive only. So yeah, Matt, you've had a thought about one of our values, fairness beside forgiveness, as we've been driving on these roads. You want to tell me a bit about that?
Absolutely. It's this part of the road here is very hard. It's a clay pan, so there's not much problem. But just up ahead, it gets very soft, the sand. We've been driving through a bit of that today, and driving that through this has reminded me about this fairness beside forgiveness. So we're not saying fairness instead of forgiveness. We're doing both, one after another. Here you can see the corrugations as we start to hit the sand. And look, I'm no Russell Coight. Please don't quote me that way. But as you drive along, particularly in soft sand, and it's just starting to get soft now, there's two things you need to have in place. One of them is your speed and one of them is your momentum. Now they are similar, but they're different things, because if you don't have enough speed, if you stop, then you have no momentum and you can sink into the sand. But if you go too fast, you can be bouncing all over, as was getting a bit here. So here's a bit of soft sand coming up. And so there's a deep need to have these two things working beside one another, momentum and speed, as we go ahead. And that reminds me so much of not only forgiveness and beside fairness, but even what God has done, as Romans 3 tells us, that he left the sins unpunished beforehand. Whoa, here we go. So he could demonstrate his righteousness or his justice through Jesus' death on the cross. And he did that at that present time to show he could justify people by paying for their sin and dealing justly with their sin. You see, God has his mercy and his justice together. The same way down this soft sand here right now, I've got to have speed and momentum at work together. I hope we can be people who follow this wonderful value, not just when you're driving, but when you're living, of forgiveness beside fairness. See you later.